I would say that my relationship, at least, I'm not going to speak for Cedric, with Patrick Allen has been pretty good. When I've needed information, he's given it to me in a very neutral, here it is, do what you want with it kind of way. I'm still waiting for some requests that are outstanding because one of the things that I think is going to impact Medicaid case rolls that some of our colleagues don't seem to want to address is the minimum wage. The legislature decided to increase minimum wage and put it on a sharp trajectory increase that has ultimately created a pretty steep fiscal benefits cliff for folks. So if you make $11.25 an hour after the new minimum wage increase in that Tri-County wage, because of course we have 3 tiers of wages and now we have an SEIU wage, and you have 2 people, we're married and I'm working 40 hours and we're on Medicaid, you don't qualify anymore. So we just shoved a whole bunch of people upon their next redetermination off the Medicaid benefits cliff. The jump from $9.75 an hour to $11.25 an hour is a gross increase in that family, with they're working 40 hours a week, about $3,100. The loss of health care to that family is over $10,000. And OHA in a meeting said, well, they can just go buy through the exchange. They weren't buying through the exchange before and paying, $10,000, and we only gave them a $3,000 gross wage. How do you think they're going to pay for it? And I'm not advocating people stay on Medicaid forever. We want to make sure people are moving up the rungs of the financial ladder and the economic ladder. But we're going to shove a lot of people off health care with a decision that was really a campaign decision, right? 15 now, and we want this increase. Well, guess what? It has a consequence. There are going to be people who lose food stamps, people who lose health care, people who lose employment-related daycare, because those benefits cliffs are set by the federal government, not by the state. And so we're going to see those Medicaid rolls continue to fall year over year over year and then expand into the second and third tier of those wages up into the point where almost a family at the end with 3 people in their family lose health care. And so there's just a lot of systemic problems that I think we need to come back and address. And, part of this referendum is we get to talk about those things. We get to have that conversation, not just with voters, but maybe some of our colleagues in this building will do a little more homework and read and see what those impacts are. And that when we make decisions like raise the minimum wage at a faster trajectory than the federal poverty rate is indexing, that and the Oregonian covered that story very well a couple years ago, that the net increase to, Sally, single mom with 2 kids, $15 is a $49, and that was before we didn't include health care when we asked for that request about what types of benefits she loses. That we are more thoughtful in our decision-making process, and we actually use good data and not just what sounds really good on a campaign mailer.
So let me just give you an example. You asked about Patrick Allen, and to his credit, he has been in pretty close contact with me, even though I've been out in the hills and fighting fire for the last couple of months. I had a really good conversation with him during legislative days. He came to my office, said, I want to meet with you, I want to talk about what we're doing, what we're planning. One of the subjects that came up was something that's being pushed in my Ways and Means subcommittee on human services, is a waiver that's being presented and pushed by Representative Dan Rayfield and Elizabeth Steiner Hayward. Federal government requires that in Oregon, when you have a disabled member in your family and you get services in the home for that costs about $1,800, those services have to be provided to that family, regardless of wage of the parents. I'm very familiar with it because I have a disabled daughter. And when my disabled daughter was born, we utilized those services for about 24 months to figure out what it is we need. Do we need an occupational therapist? Do we need a speech therapist? What do we need to deal with that? That's a very critical point for my wife and I to be able to engage those services. And then once we got it figured out, yeah, we have the funds to be able to go out and provide those services for our daughter. But a lot of people don't. And what I told Patrick Allen, I said, if you continue to push this waiver through OHA that says if families make $35,000 or more, they are expected to pay for that home in-care service for their disabled child of $21,000 a year, you're going to have a problem with me, right? That is happening right now. OHA is pushing a waiver to kick families out of these programs, mostly federally funded, that would cost them $21,000 a year for every family that makes over $35,000. If you make $35,000 a year and have a disabled child, there's no way you can afford $21,000. That's just insanity. That is an example of what's going on at OHA. They are not taking care of the people that they are supposed to be taking care of. And that is why you get people like me that have supported Medicaid for my whole life, my whole career, getting involved with programs like this, like referendums like this, that we're going to set the record straight, and we're going to get this funding shifted back to the people that it's supposed to be taken care of. If that takes a special session, if that takes a vote, I think all Oregonians, almost all Oregonians, want to take care of people that need to be taken care of. They want to take care of our disabled children in Oregon. They want to take care of our seniors. They don't want to see their ODOT transportation taken away from them. Bill after bill this last session quietly ripped those services away from those people. I am here to represent those people that need that core that OHA is here for, should be here for. We lost accountability, and I hope Patrick Allen will bring it back.